Hello, my name's Leah Seamark and I'm a community gastroenterology dietitian working in Somerset. So today I'm going to be going through a short video which gives you tips on how to identify whether a food is gluten-free and therefore suitable for someone with celiac disease. So the first thing you may look at when you pick up a food item is the food packaging, and you're looking out for the phrase gluten-free or the cross-grain symbol shown here. Now, if a food item contains either of these, you can be confident that it's gluten-free and therefore suitable for someone with celiac disease. Now, foods which contain the gluten-free or cross-grain symbol can often be found in the free-from aisles in the supermarket. But it's important to remember that there's going to be lots of foods throughout the rest of the supermarket which are suitable for you if you have celiac disease. So it's worth remembering that just because a food doesn't have the gluten-free phrase on it doesn't necessarily mean it's not suitable for you. So in these instances, what you need to do is look at the ingredients lists. Now, food labelling laws state that any major allergen must be emphasised in some way in the ingredients list. So the gluten-containing allergens we're looking out for are wheat, barley, rye, oats, spelt, and Khorasan wheat. So when you're looking through the ingredients list, if you see any of these ingredients emphasised in bold in the ingredients list, you know that that food contains gluten, therefore should be avoided. Equally, when you look through the ingredients list, if there's none of these allergens emphasised in the ingredients list, you know that that food is gluten-free and should be safe for you to eat. The only exception to this is if on the packaging it also contains a phrase such as may contain or made in a factory containing, and then it lists some gluten allergens. So for example, may contain wheat or made in a factory with gluten containing foods. Now, manufacturers may put these on food packaging because they feel there may be a risk of cross-contamination. Now, if you've picked up a food and the ingredients suggest the food is gluten-free, but it has one of these may contain phrases, what we would recommend you do is either contact the manufacturers directly or speak to Coeliac UK, who often liaise with the manufacturers anyway, and they may be able to give you a little bit more information about that risk of cross-contamination so you can make a more informed decision about whether that item is suitable for you to have. So, lots of people are now shopping online. So when you are shopping online for your food, once you've selected a food item, you should still be able to see the ingredients list as part of that website page. And again, you're looking for those same gluten-containing allergens in the ingredients list. So wheat, barley, rye, oats, spelt, and Khorasan wheat. And you know that if the ingredients list contains any of those grains, it needs to be avoided. When you're shopping online, one of the benefits you have is that you can apply filters to the foods that you're searching for. So some of these filters may come under nutrition or lifestyle or diet. And within those filters, there's often one relating to gluten. So it may be gluten-free or no gluten. So say, for example, you're searching for crisps. If you put gluten-free crisps in your search box at the top, it's likely to only produce the crisps which actually have gluten-free as part of their name. However, if you put crisps in the search box and then apply your filters, it should bring up only those crisps which have no gluten-containing ingredients in their product. However, I would always recommend that you do just double check the ingredients list as a safety precaution. So what if you pick up a food which doesn't have any food packaging? So for example, if you go to a deli counter or a bakery counter and there's no food packaging on the item. Now, if this is the case, what you'll need to do is you'll need to ask. So ask someone behind the counter for their allergen information. And in these cases, by law, they should be able to either provide you with some verbal information or they may provide you with a written information in a booklet form. But regardless of the situation, you should still be able to find out whether a food contains gluten for foods which has no packaging. However, you do need to be careful if you've identified a food with no packaging as being gluten-free, you need to take into account any risks of cross-contamination. So, for example, in a deli counter, if a gluten-free food has been cut up using the same knife used to cut up a gluten-containing food, there's a risk of cross-contamination there. Or whether a gluten-free food is in close proximity to a gluten-containing food. Is there any risks associated there? So do be careful that you take into account the practices used in places such as deli counters. So even if you've identified the food as not containing any gluten-containing ingredients, you need to take into account if there's any cross-contamination risks. Another thing you can use to help you identify whether a food is gluten-free is to use the benefits you get from your Coeliac UK membership. So if you're on a complete membership, you'll get sent a yearly book, which is a food and drink directory, which lists all the foods in the major supermarkets which are gluten-free. However, it's important to remember to update these monthlies by going onto the Coeliac UK website and looking at the list of deletions or additions to that booklet. So just a reminder that the complete membership currently stands at £27 a year and does have discounts for concessions and household memberships. Now, another great resource you can get from your Coeliac UK membership is the use of their apps. So, 2 phone apps you can get from the Coeliac UK membership is Gluten Free on the Move. So all the information that you may get from the Coeliac UK website, so whether it's the food and drink information, their venue guides or their recipes, you can get from the Gluten Free on the Move app. And second app you can get as part of your membership is the gluten-free food checker. Now this is a more extensive list of foods that are gluten-free because it also includes foods that are naturally gluten-free. And this app also gives you the ability to tailor your search requirements specifically to your needs. Say for example you have celiac disease but also you have a milk allergy. You can apply that filter to that and then it will help you identify foods that are not only gluten-free but also free from milk proteins. Now, both of these apps have the barcode scanners, which is really helpful if you're going around the supermarket and one, you either want to check food or 2, you just want to reassure yourself that when you've looked at the ingredients list, you've got it right in terms of it being gluten-free. Now, Coeliac UK have recently introduced a new type of membership, so the digital membership. And this comes in at just £15 a year. And again, there are discounts for concessions and for household membership. And with that digital membership, you'll get access to these apps as well as the other digital resources. Another benefit of Coeliac UK is their helpline, which you can call if you have any questions about any specific foods. So just to summarise, when you're looking at foods to see if it is gluten-free, first off, look at the food packaging to see if it's got gluten-free or the cross-grain symbol on. Secondly, you might want to look at the ingredients list, so whether that's on the actual food packet itself or on the online descriptions. Remember, if you're shopping online, you can apply the filters, but you do just need to double check those ingredients lists as well. If a food doesn't have any packaging, please ask the people behind the counter and they should be able to provide you that information in some format. And Coeliac UK have a great range of resources which can support you in helping to determine whether foods are gluten-free or not. I hope you found that useful and thank you for listening.